All right, the number to join us on the show today is 0708-740-7508. The number will be on the screen shortly, and note is for SMS only. Plus, all our social media handles are open.
Okay, and that's using the hashtag The Bars on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Galaxy TV, and on Twitter, Galaxy TV. And you can get to watch previous edition of our YouTube channel, that is Galaxy TV Nigeria, using the hashtag The Bars.
All right, Mr. Nwane. Yeah, you heard the speech by Femi Adesina there, and addressing this issue of herdsmen and farmers and all of the issues around that. And it gives us the impression that the federal government is frantically, in their own way, trying to look for lasting solutions in terms of addressing these issues of herdsmen and farmers clashes and all of that. What is your own view really on the issue of inviting the military, to step into all of this?
Well, this particular issue reminds me of what happened when we had Boko Haram, the early stages of Boko Haram. It started this way, and we were playing politics with it
until it became...
Some people say, oh, the APC is using it to pull down the government. Some people say, oh, no, they are being sponsored by the... But at the end of the day, Nigerians were dying. Until it got to the point where we could not handle it, then we now started looking for aid. We are looking for all sorts of people to come and help us. Now we are here again. And it happens that it's always close to election year. And we always have these serious security challenges. And then for me, I try to be very careful when I use that word herdsman, because would you describe
as a herdsman? Yes.
I was driving in yesterday from the old toll gate, and then where you have the cattle market. The real herdsmen are there doing business. And then if you go to that place, you have both Hausas, you have Igbos, you have Yorubas, Southside, everybody, they're doing their normal business. So it might be wrong for us to say, oh, herdsmen. I love the word they use, they are bandits. And I want to agree that they are bandits. Who are...
Okay.
Even in this Lagos, we've seen people who wear police uniform to rob.
Yes.
So
yeah, that's true.
We now call them and the police. So it happens. I think we need to nip this on the board. If care is not taken, we are going to have another Boko Haram waiting for us. And then, like what Femi Adesina was saying in that video, I think there's something, I don't know if it's the right word to use, but there's something wrong with us. We have a serious issue and we're playing politics with it until it gets out of hand. We all know that there's no way we are all here together as Nigerians. Somehow you need cattle. And then you ask yourself, who own who own the cattle? Okay. I've asked people who own the cattle. In the village where I come from, I know who own the cattle that I see in my village. It does not belong to the Fulani man.
Okay.
My village where I come from, I can mention the names of people who own these cattle and they sell them like every day in the market. You have about 8 killed every day. But yes, the Fulani men were there and their job is to tend to they move the cattle around.
Yes,
yeah, but who owns it? So sometimes you get into these things, you don't understand how how the whole thing is connected, and you think,
in my days in our literature books, they used to refer to them as nomads, if I'm correct, because they move from place to place with their cattle, and all that. But the whole thing has taken a new dimension, really, as to it now becomes questionable when you see someone with a long stick and with a head of cows. So you're
probably just going to think,
yes, who really is this person? But once again, this stance by the federal government, is it the right one?
The last time I heard the Minister of Interior speak on this matter, he was specific about the decision not to use the military.
Okay, why?
Yeah.
And his reasons were that, look, this is a police matter. It's until it gets out of hand, then you get the military. Then we need to ask ourselves, is it out of hand? And then we also need to be careful how you bring in the military. It means, tomorrow some boys will throw knockout there, you bring military.
Okay.
So we need to be very careful. I think probably that's why the Federal Executive Council sat down on it, and they need to really take a decision on it. But I also think that the police themselves have not even done enough.
Okay. Because even the state governor, when they actually sent in policemen to go down to Benue, then it wasn't too comfortable with
the presence
of the police, and he actually needed the presence of people higher than the police. But do you think our police force is, what do you think they actually need to get it done right?
I think first of all we need to understand the issues around this. If you don't understand this, sometimes you get into it and you begin to play up tribal sentiments, religious sentiment, or Muslims or Christians. This is a challenge. If you go to places like Kaduna, you still have these challenges of killings by, in quote, herdsmen. But I always tell people to apply common sense. Ask yourself, what's the cost of one cow? What's the cost of one cow?
A full-size cow.
Full-size cow.
Between 150 to about 200, yes.
And you assume that one herdsman carries like at least 30. So if I do the calculation, I will tell you how much he's moving. And I'll begin to ask myself, is it wise for this guy to move such amount of money and then try to cause trouble? I don't know. It's just common sense. You know, we know we have these issues, but sometimes I try to ask that question, and then I end up arriving at the fact that probably there are some people who have infiltrated the herdsmen, and they're using it to perpetrate this act. Because if you go down somewhere in Okigwe, there's a huge cattle market there. I'm sure they are doing their business as we are talking. So as much as we are trying to fish out these bad eggs, we should also be careful the way we tag everybody. You know, put everybody in that whole basket of, Fulani herdsmen. We need to be, it is a security challenge. And I think we need to face it. We have intelligence. Police also have their investigative unit. They need to go down and find out what exactly is happening. Because if you look at our borders are so porous. Anything can happen. So if you ask me, we also need to ask questions who police our borders. Because
really porous.
Yeah, very porous. People could walk in and walk out, and
and nobody's asking questions.
But don't you think the local government for each area has a role to actually play in this?
Do we have local
in terms of security?
Well, we do. At least they collect funds.
That's
collect funds for.
In this same country last year, government came up with the idea of voting for autonomy for local governments, and some people kicked it and said, no, we don't want it. What local government chairmen do these days is to pay salaries and go to burial ceremonies, naming ceremonies.
Okay.
Maybe in Lagos you see them, I'm telling you, they are more comfortable about driving their cars around and blaring siren because there's nothing to do. They don't have money to do anything. The allocation goes to the governor. So what's local government doing? Where are they going to get the fund? These are the challenges. So who put them there? The government probably just pick his friends who help him win an election and make them go. So you see, it's a systemic problem.
Yes, it is. All right. So, but what about this issue of the cattle colonies as proposed by the federal government? Do you think that would help in some ways? Meanwhile, people are already responding to the issue we're discussing. This one from Ife from Lagos says, how can we provide land for people that value cows more than human beings? All right. This other one, please don't call the number on the screen. Please, we're begging you, because it makes it almost impossible for us to read the SMSs when they do come in. Don't call the number. The number is working, just in case you're trying to check. Just send your text. All right, this other one, this one is talking about the video we just showed and saying Femi Adesina is just... All right. Femi Adesina is just projecting the politics of this government. He's just speaking what he is told to say. The government does not even seem to be in agreement on who is who doing the killings. Hi, Alero and Pat. Okay, these herdsmen, who are they and where are they from? I'm asking the same question. They are terrorists and should be eliminated. Wow. Why the cold feet by the federal government to deal with them? I smell a rat. That's by Monica. Ahule Samuel from Benue just sent this one in. I just wonder which kind of decisive action, when nothing is done to the culprits, and he did mention some names here. What happened to those recently apprehended as perpetrators of Benue killings? I think the federal government has more to tell us about these herdsmen. What happens to the Miyetti Allah who claimed this attack? I don't know what you wrote next. Doesn't seem like English, but you know, people are asking these questions. But then back to the issue of cattle colonies, because this seemed like one of the proposed solutions, you know, to all of this. Let's have colonies in virtually every state. Maybe this will help. Do you see that as any kind of help in this situation, really?
Do you want my honest opinion?
Honest opinion.
Anything that will stop the killing of Nigerians, I'm in support.
Okay.
If we are sure, if it's colonies that will make us stop killing ourselves, then I'll support it. But let me tell you, I think the problem is that Nigeria is so divided along tribal, you know, ethnic, religious. If not, if I were to be in government today, probably maybe commissioner for agriculture. That's part of the things I would do. And I'll make a hell of money for the government. I have people say, why do we need to give land to some people? They should buy land. And I've told them, I said, look, you are safer when the land belongs to the government. It is more dangerous to say they should go buy land. Because it's just like when I have my own house. All
right, I think you need to hold the thoughts there. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back to that. All right, we're still on the buzz this afternoon, and there's still more interesting talk coming your way on the show. So we'll take a very quick break. We'll be back. Stay with us.